I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more
There's
times.
5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by Georgia O'Connor. First of all, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Delighted to have this fantastic fight week start. No other place to start on a boat. It's one of the stranger media workouts we've had, but it's a very, very big fight week, so why not do something different?
That's it. I mean, when I found out it was on a boat, though, it's different, but go big or go home. I went on a few cruise ships when I was little, like on family holidays and stuff, and never really had seasickness, but shadowboxing on a boat's a bit different, isn't it? I was a bit uneasy there, but no, I enjoyed it. It's good.
I think everyone's been a bit uneasy. There's probably, 200 people on this boat, and no one was really knowing what to expect, but it's certainly been an entertaining day, especially when Shields come on. There's always a bit of needle. Let's talk about the main fight before we come on to yourself. Caressa Shields, Savannah Marshall. It's built to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, female fight of all time. There's the needle, it's the undisputed middleweight championship, and you're fighting on the undercard. What does that mean to you?
I mean, to be on the undercard of that itself, I mean, you only got to see it to kind of realise how amazing that is. For me, boxing since I was 4 years old, stuff like this is things I could have only dreamed of. Now for it to be a reality is absolutely phenomenal. I respect both Savannah and Caressa. The way they've transcended women's boxing is, what more can we ask for? Women's sport is absolutely booming at the minute, and to have like athletes like this to look up to and be on the undercard of these athletes is amazing.
And speaking to other people like around the sport, it's kind of, we've had big female fights before. Obviously the one that comes to mind is Taylor Serrano, but this one has that bit of needle in it. There's a big rivalry stemming back all the way to 2012. So kind of with that, do you think that really pushes the sport? Because we know kind of the casuals, they love a good rivalry.
That's it, yeah. I mean, like anything, if there's story behind it, if there's that like, what's the word? If there's that beef, it's the best word I can think of, beef. If there's that beef prior to a fight such as this, it makes it so much more exciting. And to have that in like women's sport now, I mean, don't want to be like misogynistic here to my own gender, but women in general, I think they're a bit more timid and they don't really have that like trash talk like the men do, when the testosterone's all firing up. But I think to have this, it's like I said, it just transcends women's boxing. To have that rivalry, to have people see that I really don't think they like each other. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see how the fight goes on Saturday as well, with that in mind.
I've asked everyone on the card so far. Can I get a prediction for you for the big one?
Do you know what? I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think either Savannah late KO or Caressa points. But if I had to have a bet on it, I would say Savannah knockout in late rounds.
Excellent. Let's move on to you then. I think it's your third professional fight. You're telling me it's a tough opponent, Belgian champion, and a big step up for you so early on in your career. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, you can only fight who's put in front of you, but sometimes I see journeywomen come over and bless them, I almost feel bad for them, and I don't just want easy fights and to have my own way, because then when I fight for a world title or intercontinental, then I'll kind of be in the deep end. If I feel like taking on these opponents, and I was preparing myself in the right way. I mean, my last opponent, Erica Alvarez from Argentina, she was a tough cookie. I broke her nose in the second round. We've been WhatsApping with each other, and she told me that I was a very hard hitter. I broke her nose, but she didn't fold, I remember throwing everything I had in the shots, and she just kept coming at me. I was like, damn. This one, she's undefeated Belgian champion. She's going to come to win. But I believe in myself and I'm confident in my abilities to do what I need to get the win.
How important was it for you to not always be matched against these journeymen? Because an extensive amateur background from yourself, and we see it with Fraser Clark at the weekend. He expressed his frustration on he knocked him out with ease. For you to build up in the levels, to move through the ranks, you need some tough tests.
Of course you do. I mean, I had 50 fights as an amateur, 40-50. I boxed the best of the best. I boxed and beat European champions, world medalists, Olympic medalists even, and I think for me to progress properly in the professional ranks, I've got to have these challenges early on. Like I said, if I'm unprepared when I want to box for a title and I'm thrown at the deep end, or someone actually wants to hit me instead of just there for the money and just to make the rounds up, what am I going to do? I feel like taking this now is going to allow me to progress in the way I want to.
How confident are you then in Sky Sports and boxing? We know they have a tremendous female roster now, stemming from the start of your career like yourself all the way to the top, being this huge fight with everyone in the middle. So how confident are you that they can guide you all the way to the top?
I think looking what they've done in the past year and a half with Savannah and Clarissa themselves says everything, doesn't it? I mean, how they've built this up, and apparently it's nearly been a sellout at the O2, you know, 20,000 people, I believe. So for a women's headliner fight to be almost selling that out I think that says everything, and hopefully that'll be me one day. You know, just got to keep putting the work in and believing in myself.
How quick can you move then? When can we see you in the big fights, all being well, in your opinion?
I think around 18 months, as long as I'm promoted correctly and I get regular fights. I think 18 months to 2 years, I want to be fighting for titles.
Excellent. Finally, for everyone who's going to be there in the O2 Arena Saturday night and whoever's going to be watching on all platforms, it's going to be a huge night with lots of eyes on it. What can they expect from Georgia O'Connor?
A win, hopefully. No, I don't like to be too cocky and say I'm going to do this, going to do that, but I know what I need to do, and hopefully I'll do it and pull it off and have another good performance.
Excellent. Thank you very much for speaking to IFL. Best of luck on Saturday night and speak to you again soon.
Thank you very much, Pete.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
5 blokes outside my front door. You coming in?
One hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.